Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Hey, it's Icarice, and I'm here to tell you about Hotcast for Podcasting. We are a podcasting studio located in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Hot 702.5 FM studios. You can book online at hot7025fm.com. Just click on Hotcast. You can book and find your times right there. Thank you for booking with Hotcast for Podcasting.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Jones, hey, Greg Deville was at it, man, hey. If you want the real, holla at Greg Deville, he'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville, he'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in, we here to help. Now tune in, we here to help. You wanna be a broker, you wanna be broke. You wanna be the joker, you wanna be the joker. You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in, we here to help. Now tune in, we here to help.
All right. It's Wednesday, hump day in the city. Happy New Year, Las Vegas. So glad to be back in the studio with you once again. 2025. That's right. We've arrived. I'm excited. How about you? 2025, man, look, move with vision, purpose, and creativity this year. This year, we're moving just like that. Vision, purpose, and creativity. I'm excited about what's to come in 2025. We know we have a new administration. It's going to be a little different than what we're accustomed to. However, I'm going to believe what everyone is saying is going to be better. Now, this is what y'all voted him in, so we're going to hope that it's going to be better because this is what you all wanted. So I'm going to ride the ride, okay? I'm riding the ride with you. But vision, purpose, and creativity is what we want to focus on this year. Set yourself for success. Set yourself up. Set yourself up for success in 2025. Pursue and conquer and succeed. These are all the words that came to my mind as we began to enter into 2025. All the great things that, you put your mind to. We do a conference every year. Shout out to Maquetta. Every year we do a conference, the Wealth Mindset. And I'm telling you, the Wealth Mindset has been phenomenal. Each year, again, we'll be holding it again this year. But you set yourself up in 2025 for success, mentally, spiritually, and financially. It's a mindset. What are you going to do different that you did? Now understand, 2024 was the platform for 25 for you. At least I believe that for myself as well, is that it's going to be greater later in 2025. It's going to be a wonderful year. This year, many of you, I think, I see the gyms are full as usual. I see a lot of, people making commitments and, resolutions. If I could just add one on this Hump Day Wednesday, get out of debt. Get out of debt. Pay your debtors off. Pay off. Get a copy of your credit report and find out exactly where you are. Because if you haven't purchased a home in the last 3 years, then it's time to get into home ownership. As many of you know, I'm Greg Deville. I'm the wealth builder. I talk about creating wealth through equity, which is real estate. There's a lot of ways, hear me well, there's a lot of ways to create wealth. My vision, my gift, my talent, my purpose, my mission is to help you see it through the eyes or the lens of real estate. Now, somebody may be doing well with Bitcoin. Someone may be doing well with insurance. stocks, bonds. Listen, whatever your thing is, make sure you have some real estate because everyone's got to live somewhere. So why not own the place you lay your head at night, right? I heard somebody say it was better for him to lease because it was a business strategy. And if that's your business, but I'm saying this to you, when you own something, you're creating wealth through equity. So I don't know about you. For me, I have a problem with knowing that I'm paying someone else's mortgage. I'm paying off. Now, someone say, well, I can get a tax benefit from leasing a house. Well, if that's your business and strategy, but everyone has to own something. Now, again, depending on your business, I'm not here to knock, but on the majority of individuals, the common average household, we may make 90 to 200,000 a year. At the end of the day, maybe you're not into investments, but you have a place to lay your head and you own it, or at least you're purchasing that thing. Not everyone leases cars. Many of us want to own our cars. I love the leverage. I love the leverage of owning my own. I love the ability to have something that in the event I needed to leverage, I own something, right? I have assets, not just liabilities. So I wanted to say vision, purpose, creativity, pursue and conquer, succeed in 2025, right? Set yourself up for success mentally, spiritually, financially. Now, mentally, people are stressing because here's one of the problems that I'm finding when you pay rent. Landlords tend to sell. And then you have to find somewhere to go that maybe is just as comfortable as where you are. I try to say, don't get comfortable where you are. At the end of the day, bless the child that's got his own, right? So I don't have to worry about someone deciding that they're liquidating their assets and I'm in one of your assets and I'm having to relocate because you decided to liquidate. Well, I want to say to you it's afternoon now, our 12 o'clock Wednesday show. I want to make sure you understand it's time to get into creating wealth through equity. Now, home ownership, very, very important, because here's some opportunities that become available with home ownership. One is you can use the leverage of the asset to acquire more real estate. For example, let's say you own your home 3 to 5 years. So you've gained some equity over time. Let's say you got 80, 120,000 in equity. Well, I just recently in the last year sold a family who gained 85,000 in equity. They were able to get 60,000. They put it down on another home, just simply using the equity in that home. And they were able to multiply and get a home of their dreams with a swimming pool, a balcony. And in fact, the balcony is right near the pool. You can put a slide from the balcony into the pool. It is beautiful. But they did it by listening to the Greg Deville Let's Talk Real Estate show, The Wealth Builder, by just hearing what I'm laying out for you. I'm giving you a roadmap, if you will, how to get assets and how to liquidate what you have by taking equity, a home equity line of credit. You can get now. If you sell it, you get 100%. But if you refinance, right, a home equity line of credit, take that 80%. What you want to do now is put it on something. Now, many of you love your home. You're fine with the home, but do you have residual income? Because the residual income is something that's included with your income. To those of you who don't have a home at this time, but this year's your goal to own, let me mention to you, you can be a first-time home buyer and get a 4-plex apartment unit. And the FHA will give you up to $29,000 towards your down payment. So their money's allocated to getting first-time buyers in. Now, again, remember, as we always talk about, the first-time buyer being anyone who has not and currently do not, but has not owned in the last 3 years. So if you've been living in that townhouse, that apartment, or that rental house, it's been longer than 3 years, know your 3-year date, then you're a first-time buyer again. So no matter what happened in the past, forgive yourself. It's a new season. It's a new day. Look, let me help you. Let's take 2025, the year of grace, the number 5 being the year of grace. We're under grace, man. We've made mistakes, but God's grace is sufficient. So now let's do something great. Let's forgive ourselves of our past decisions. Let's forgive ourselves of our past mindset that I'm going to just stay right here and I'm going to just rent. And then until the landlord, again, remember, these landlords are selling. I'm selling homes today for landlords they've got great equity. Time has gone by. The equity's great. Guess what they're doing? Cashing out. And they're taking the assets that are, the funds from that asset, and they're investing it somewhere else, if not into something larger, because a home doesn't give much income, right? You figure you buy a house, you rent the house, what are you going to get? $2,000, maybe $3,000, depending on location and the size of the home, right? Whereas if you could take that equity, let's say he's got $200,000, $300,000 in it, he takes and sells the house you've been renting. He's going to take his $300,000, he's going to put it on a 10-unit building. Now, can you imagine the little $3,000 he was getting from your little rent? How much more he's getting with 10 units at $1,500 to $1,800 a unit? That's right. And so these are the type of things that we're talking about, leveraging assets to acquire more assets. This is an opportunity you have available when you start thinking out of the box and just getting another house or just buying a house. Buy a house for the leverage it brings. Purchase a home for the opportunity that comes with it. The opportunity is this: gaining equity over time, because you rent, you gain equity, but for them. And so they hear my show and they do what you could have been doing and taking that equity, multiplying it and putting it on something else. Or again, as I mentioned, if you've been renting, you're a first-time buyer, you can take the opportunity, get a residual income property. You'll have to live in the unit. Now you can get a fourplex. You have to live in one of the units for a minimum 1 year. That's a 1-year sacrifice. That means one Christmas tree, one New Year's Day again. And now you can look at renting that. Now you can purchase another property, maybe start over with another fourplex. But take the opportunity that's available. And many of you are saying, wow, I never thought about that. And that's why the Greg Deville Show for the last 8 or 9 years have been on radio, doing radio to bring information, to raise the awareness of creating wealth through equity. A mindset, a wealth mindset. And with that being said, 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group. I'm the broker owner of Deville Realty Group, the largest black-owned real estate firm in the state of Nevada. My goal, my purpose, my mission is to inquire the community about more information, to put the community up on information that's available. This isn't anything new. Many have become successful through real estate. Look at our current incoming president. Real estate. His name's on real estate. Is that right? His success has come through real estate. His dad's success was through real estate. So how about you considering, now maybe you're on your job, but you have a full 401k on the job. You can take that 401k and use it towards your advantage. You can get into home ownership using your 401k, guess what, without penalty. Now, many of you aren't aware that your 401k, if you use your 401k for anything, let's say you want to borrow money to repair your car or go buy a new car, right? There's up to a 10% penalty for using that money for anything other, watch this, than real estate. You can purchase real estate using your 401k without penalty. Just think about it. Without penalty. You've been sitting here renting some other cat's house, living under his rule, having to pay the rent by the 5th, and then he got nerve to be mad because you gave it on the 6th. It was a holiday. He said, I said the 5th. They get charged $50, $80, whatever. There is no set fee for a late fee. Whatever I want to charge, I might want to charge you $50 and $5 every day you late after the $50, right? It's up to the landlord. That's why landlord leases are different. You create your own lease, whatever your terms are. Your terms could be every 6 months, I want to come in and change the filter in my house. I know you're renting it, but it's my home. These are my rules. And if you sign that lease, you commit to whatever he says in the lease. Whatever, if it's every quarter, he want to come in and change the filters, inspect the property. Or every 6 months, he wants his leases to be 6 months. Why? So that 6 months it expires, I can increase my rent if I decide. I can decide to put you out, because the lease is over. So, and at the time that you're signing it, most of the time you need a place to go. So you sign it. But I would recommend, if you have to sign a lease, do at least a 2 year. 3 years if you have to. Now, no more than 3 years, because 3 years, you're a first-time buyer all over again. So why keep, when there's money allocated towards your grant toward a down payment? So you can't save that money in 3 years. Times have been challenging. Is that right? So what are you going to do? Take the advantage of the income that's available before this new administration cuts those funds. Contact me now. Let's talk about getting in before he gets in, because, you know, they love to cut low, moderate income families opportunities. They love to do that. They love to give the advantage to the successful. But what about the people who are just starting out? Everybody didn't get come into the world with a silver spoon in their mouth. Some of us literally had to work hard to get where we are. Some of you coming up right now and you're trying your best to get into. I'm telling you right now, before this date comes and this administration gets here, let's use these funds. We got up to $29,000. Use the funds. Or you could, again, use your 401k because before it becomes a 201k, right? Use that funds. Those monies are yours, right? Now, some of you, you know, again, aren't aware that you can use it without penalty. So let's talk about that. You're renting. A lot of, again, landlords are going to be taking advantage in 2025 of selling their home and getting the asset, the income from it. And they're going to be looking for bigger investments, you know, and again, that's why everybody voted him in. They think it's going to be great investment. It's going to be a bunch of money made. I don't think the first 2 years is going to get much done anyway. I just feel like he's so busy fighting off so many things and getting even with so many people that the first 2 years basically going to just be fighting, you know, changing the name of the ocean or whatever, you know, whatever the case. You know, you're listening to the Greg Deville Let's Talk Real Estate Show, the Wealth Builder Greg Deville, 702-349-0162. So now let's talk for a moment about those of you who are dealing with your mortgage crisis. Your home is in default. You've been behind your mortgage for, you know, you've been behind 2 months, 3 months. Now, let me say this. They can't just come and take your house, so you can rest. Now, by the fourth month, by 120 days, if you're late, okay, if you're 30 days late, you're going to get letters. You're going to get a phone call from your mortgage company. Hey, is there anything we can do? What's happening? You know, try to do a modification, and some get denied for the modification, right? Not everyone gets a modification. I had to go through a modification. The market got crazy. Guess what? So did real estate. I'm not too proud to say I deal with a modification. I was granted because I was always paying my mortgage. But when the market got crazy, then I had to consider. But the unfortunate part is you have to be in default to get considered for the mortgage modification. So they make you become behind. So if you're behind, you can seek for the modification. Now, again, not everyone's approved. Now, if you're not approved, think about it this way. Take the opportunity. You may have to sell the house. I know you don't want to sell your house, baby, but look, you go 4 months behind in payments, they got what is called, they could start considering a sale date. They're going to consider selling the house. Now, they're going to give you the date, the sale date. Now, once the sale date it goes to the auction, there may be a buyer at the auction. Now, if there's a buyer at the auction, you could stay there up until that time. However, once a buyer takes over the property, they may give you 2-week notice. They may give you a 30-day notice. But I'm just simply here to tell you at the end of the day, you're going to get a notice. Now, you know you're in default. You're behind in the mortgage. What can we do to help you? Well, after you've tried everything else and it hasn't worked, contact Greg Deville's team. We're going to sit there and meet with you. Let's talk about the equity you have on the table. Now, we will have to cut the price of the house because remember, this time is of the essence. So you don't have a lot of time that you can get top dollar. You're going to have to sell it sometimes under market value because it's going to take typically 30 days to sell. Depending on the condition of the house, you may get an investor. But if the house is in good condition, we'll try to get closer to the value as much as we can. But remember, there's a lot of homes on the market, so there's a lot of competition. So in order for you to get that property sold, you may have to consider a lower price, right? You're going to have to eat a little bit to get it done. Now, it typically takes up to 30 days. Now, if you've got a sale date, we can still work with you. If you got a sale date and it's at least 3 weeks from the sale date, the opportunity is we can contact your mortgage provider. Okay, normally it's a service company servicing your mortgage, and let them know the home is up for sale, and try to get an offer in it real rapidly. Right, get the offer. Now, once we get the offer, we can notify them. Not until we get an offer. We can let them know we consider it's on the market, but they're going to say, well, notify us when you get an offer. Now, we have to do a quick sale, means low price, make it move, let it go. Start packing up. It's okay. Start putting things in storage, decluttering the house, getting some of those things off the counters in the bathrooms and the kitchens so people can see the house. They're not here to see your decor because your decor is leaving. They want to see how much room, this space this room really has, right? You got so much furniture. Take some of it out, declutter, get a fast sale. Typically, it takes 30 days to close a transaction. So with that being said, you're going to be looking to get out of there within 30 days of the offer. Now, we're going to be in contact with the service provider. They do typically give us a postponement of sale, meaning they will postpone that sale date if you've gotten one. Many times they'll work with you as long as you communicate. Now, let me say this to those of you who seem to think because you're talking to your mortgage servicer that foreclosure is being held up. They don't even know each other. In fact, the guy you've been talking to in the modification, he knows on the 120th day, by the 90, 120 day, they're considering a sale date. And so when you get a letter from the foreclosure, they didn't send a copy of that letter to the modification department. You have to notify them, hey, I've got a foreclosure. I'm looking to do, a modification. Before you want to do that quickly. So if you know you're in your first month or your second month in default, you want to start talking to the bank. Do not avoid the banks because, after 120 days, 160 days, yes, they're serious now. Because I want you to understand, the bank doesn't want your house back. They want the interest on the money because they loan you the money and they owe interest to someone else. So when people put their money in the bank, they may give them 2%, if 2%, on long-term investment. So they get 2%. The bank loans you the money on 6.5%. So the bank's making 4.5% on that 2% that they gave to this guy. So they don't want the house. Banks don't want the house. Hear me well. They don't want the house. They want the interest on the money. So they want to work with you. However, you have to, number one, communicate with them. Let them know how serious you are and that you're working towards a solution. Now, I've been in real estate over 18 years in Las Vegas. I've been in real estate over 45 years. I'll be 60 next month. But I've been in real estate in Vegas for going on 19 years now. And so talk about knowing the game. I'm in the game. Been in the game a while. This is nothing new to me. So if you know you're behind in the mortgage, let's get ahead of it. Let's deal with it now. Let's accept the fact we may not catch up. You won't be the first. You're not the last. Listen. It's better that you take your equity, baby, and run. Get what you can. If you can't catch up, you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, there is still a light. And the light may be that you have to sell it. So let's do that. You trying everything. You can't sleep at night. Your appetite gone. You're losing weight, not by choice. You're losing weight because you're worrying. How you going? You only make a certain income. And you still got to pay light, gas, phone, car note, insurance, and everything else. Yes. So if you get behind, what is the likeliness? You borrowed from everyone you can to try to keep up, and yet it's just unbearable. So let's deal with the elephant in the room. Let's accept the fact it is where we are. 2025, we're not going in with fear, doubt, but instead we're going in with vision, purpose, and creativity. We're going to create a way to get out of the mess we're in. If it's renting, we getting out of renting. We're going to stop being at the mercies of these landlords. Talking about they late by the 5th. And it's a $50. Some people charge a $100 late fee if you're late by the 5th. Some people say by the 3rd. Did you know a mortgage isn't late until after the 15th of the month? Let's get out from that stress of that landlord. I want you this year in 2025, I want you to say with me, I'm firing my landlord. Landlords, if they've been living with you 3 years, you owe it to them to go ahead and listen, you're going to always get a tenant. Tenants are always here. New deposit. In fact, you can even charge new rent. Get more rent than you did last year. So don't hold tenants back. Give them an opportunity of being a homeowner. Somebody gave you the opportunity. How did you become a landlord? Well, so let's stop being selfish and just holding on for me and say, you know what, there's a guy on the radio. His name's Greg Deville. Give him a call. See about getting approved. You've been with me 3, 4, 5, 7 years. See about buying you a house. You've been paying on time. You've been a good tenant. You'd be a great homeowner. Or is that too much to ask of you, Mr. Landlord? However it goes, I'm talking to the tenant. Share this Facebook post with your friends and your family. Let them know there's a guy, Greg Deville, who's so passionate about you owning real estate that he's going to give you the money down up to $29,000. He's going to give it to you. He's got a program that's got money. Use it before the new administration cuts it. Because you know they love to cut stuff in our community, without a doubt. So take the opportunity. Again, so if you got the 401k, as I've already mentioned, those of you behind in the mortgage, let's deal with that. Let's stop running from the phone. Answer the phone. Tell the man, look, I don't have it. I can only make payments on it. Listen, you get more and more and more behind. Guess what? Giving them half of the rent, listen, keep that. Because unless next month comes, you're going to be able to pay it all. You're going to be a month and a half in the hole. Then the month after that, it's going to be two whole months now. Listen, let's sell the house. Take the equity. Some of you, I just got a lady $142,000 last year because she got behind in the mortgage. There was no way to catch up. But can you imagine, even if you got $90,000, so you had to sell the home, you're going to rent for what? At least a year. So you can get your credit score back. Now, if you foreclose, it's going to take up to 4 years out of a foreclosure. You're going to be renting. You're going to be paying somebody else's mortgage. But if you do what I like to term a pre-foreclosure sale, we're going to sell that property. Now, we sell the property, you're going to get a check. Let's say it's 40, 50, 70. Like I said, last lady was $142,000. Put that money aside. You just had Christmas. You don't need nothing. You don't need nothing. Just had Christmas. You're going to put your furniture in storage, take a few things, live in this little apartment for a minute. Just look, 1 year, your scores have already been hit. You need to buy a house without a program, you need just a 580. So you get a 580 in 1 year. Let's say 1 year from the date you sold that house. 1 year, you're going to rent, and you're going to work on your credit score to get at least a 580, 600. You're going to put $50,000 of that money that I'm going to get you from that sale, and you're going to put that money on that house. Now you back in the game. Now you're smarter, you're wiser, you're sharper. Why? Because you know how you got behind before. This time you're not going to let that happen. Matter of fact, when we pre-foreclosure sell this house, I want you to pay a few things off. I want you to pay that car off. You know, I don't know why we feel like we got to go get a new car because you just started that whole cycle over. Not only did it increase, you got a new car. Now that keeps you from buying a house. The biggest purchase in life, in many cases, will be a home. If that is something you need to have, and I believe it is, because at the end of the day, you got to lay your head somewhere, and I'll be darned if I'm going to pay another man's mortgage anymore. Now that I know better, I do better. I am not going to pay your mortgage. Now I understand young people have to rent. Young people and fools. Oops, I'm sorry. You're not a fool when you know better now. But young people and fools keep paying rent. I'm not here to insult anyone. I'm just telling you, smarten up. 2025, smarten up. Stop paying the man's mortgage and he sell a house and you got to find somewhere else to go. I had somebody tell me one day, I can't afford to live where I rent, so I'm going to keep renting. Rent was high, but they love the house. Guess what I heard a year later? The man sold the house. I'm like, wow. She told me she couldn't afford to rent the house, that she couldn't afford to buy that house, so she kept renting it. And it wasn't long after that the landlord sold the house. So I'm saying, why live under another man's rule? You don't know what financial situations he has. Selling that house answers. Let me tell you this. Selling a house will answer your problems. Some people going bankrupt and you sell the house, your problems will be resolved. Think about it. The equity in your home can pay off the debt. Sell the house, rent in 1 year, come back and buy again. So maybe you're not going to buy what you have, but you won't have the debt you had. So we're going to pre-foreclosure the house. Don't lose your home in 2025. There's a guy on the radio, Greg Deville. Here I am, y'all. I'm here to help you. You got to put that pride aside. Pride, Pride. If you take the P off, it'll take you for a ride. If you take the E off, it'll get rid of you. So many people have lost so much because of pride. You don't want the neighbors to know you lost your house. You don't want the neighbors in your business. You don't want your family to know. Let me say this. When they foreclose your house, everybody in the neighborhood gonna know they foreclosed. You know why? They put blue tape and white paper on the door. Everybody gonna know you got foreclosed. Look, at least if I sell the house, they just thought you sold your house, right? Oh, I sold the house. I want to get out of debt, pay some things off. I'm gonna rent for about a year, and I'm gonna come back in the game. Guess what? Nobody knows your business. But if you just keep doing this pride ride, tripping, no, you can't catch up. No, you can't catch. Just get a car back. God was hiding the car out for 3 months. Talking about, man, they looking for my car because I ain't paid. Just get the car back. Because now you tearing up your credit every month. It's a new debt. It's a new late. It's a new destruction. Just give it back. Just give the car back. Just if you can't catch up on the mortgage, just get the house back. But get your equity out of the house. And then the equity, you may be behind on the car. You behind in the house. You behind on some debt. At least if we sell the house, the proceeds of the sale, guess what? I could catch up on the car note. I could catch up on some credit cards. Now, I'm doing that only to correct my credit issue. Because remember, I could sell you a home with a 580 credit score. So I've got some answers. I mean, if you want to talk more about it, 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group. I've been in the game a long time. I've been educating so many families. Why don't you take me up on it? In fact, I double dog dare you to take me up because I'm going to help you get out of this trouble, out of this stress, out of can't sleep at night worrying about you don't make enough money to catch up, number one. So let's deal with it. If they don't give you this next modification, I tell you what, it's a job for Jesus right here. God, only God can do this. If you got a problem a man can solve, you really ain't got a problem. Contact me. I'll show you what we can do, how we can help. You own a home, let's sell it, let's get the money, let's pay some things off, live comfortably for about a year. Don't waste money. I'm telling you, if you listen to the strategy, I've got a strategy, man, and it's helped a number of people. In fact, it's helped me. I had to deal with it. So as transparent as I am, let me help you. This is what I do. Let me help you. 702-349-0162. Greg Deville. This is what I do. I have a team of agents. Shout out Team Deville for 2025. We're excited about all the great things coming about and getting ready to happen. Look, I already told you. Walk in 2025. Move with vision, purpose, and creativity. How am I going to get out of the trouble I'm in? I'm not going to go through this in 2025. I'm erasing 24 and some debt that came with it. Not bringing that baggage over to the new year. So if shopping is what you got to change, if going to the gym is what you got to change, if you got to stop going to the store, buying cigarettes, if that's what you got to change, whatever your resolution is, let's start now with vision, purpose, and creativity, right? Let's pursue and conquer and succeed. It starts with you. It's a wealth mindset. I'm Greg Deville, the Wealth Builder. This is what I do. Come every week to talk to you about information that's available. Now, when you get that home, what I've done with my home, my summer power bill was somewhere between $900 to almost $1,200 a month, depending on how many times I forgot to turn the AC down. And I'd be, oh my God, I left the AC down. Oh my God. And I'd be like, oh, I'd be so hurt. But guess what? I'm with renewable energy. I got with solar panels. If you don't have solar, man, let me testify for a moment, bruh. Look, I pay $13 a month to NV Energy for the connection to the solar. From there, let me look out. Sun shining. Guess what? I'm producing energy every time, and I'm producing enough energy because during the day, we don't use a lot. So that means I'm storing up a whole lot of energy. Because I got a few more panels than required. Because I'm looking at maybe buying a Tesla, perhaps adding a pool down the road. So I wanted to make sure I could accommodate those things. So those of you that are listening say, well, I'm getting a power bill and a solar bill. Well, problem being is you don't have enough panels to accommodate what you're doing. So contact your solar company. Contact your finance company that you're paying every month. Say, I would like to reconsider my system. I want you to reconsider by looking at my current bill, seeing why am I getting a bill as well as solar, because your solar should accommodate any bills. Whatever your usage is, your kilowatt hours, that's what you should be accommodating and a little bit more. So if you have guests, many of you only getting enough for you and yourself, and then the kids move in. Now more power is on, more energy is used. So guess what's happening? Is now you're going above your capacity. All right. So now remember, getting solar is no upfront cost with Deville Realty Group. I got Deville Solar Marketing Group. So when we talk about having solar on the home, this is great. And I say it because I have it. I'm not just saying something to sell you something. I don't talk real estate to just sell you. I'm not just a typical salesman. This is passion for me. I want you to understand, man, owning a house is success. Because when you don't, you're paying another man's success. So why not have your own, right? There you go. So now we got the home. We fired the landlord. Now I'm about to fire NV Energy. I'm going to give them the bare minimum, which is what, $13, $15 for the connection fee. That's it. Other than that, I'm gonna start with renewable energy, and I'm gonna have, first of all, no upfront costs. That's number one. No upfront costs. You don't pay anything to get solar on the home. If somebody's trying to give you an upfront cost, run. Shut the door, lock them out. Say bye, Felicia. Bye, Craig. We're not doing this. Right? So no upfront cost. It increases the home value. So I recently sold a home. The value was here. The appraiser forgot to add the solar to the property. And when we talked about it, it gave a $23,000 increase. It was a townhouse and it had solar. But guess what? There's an increase of value for having solar. So she was able to meet the appraisal value they wanted by considering the solar on the roof. These are benefits, right? Receive a tax incentive when you look to purchase. Now, some of you just may want to do a lease. It is transferable. So if you purchase it and you decide 5 years later you're down, average homeowner keeps a home from 5 to 7 years, average homeowner. However, it is transferable. So it could be transferred to the new buyer to take over where you leave off. The payments remain the same. There's no upfront cost for the transfer in many cases, right? You just a new owner. It's attached to the property. It has a warranty, up to 25-year warranty. And you could put an insurance rider on it as well. So you could add that to your insurance policy, solar system, but it has a 25-year warranty. There's lease and purchase options, as I mentioned. So you don't have to just buy it. You can lease it. We talk about lease in many cases to those who you're exempt from filing taxes. So a lease may work for you. However, for a purchase, because remember, it is transferable if in the event you sell, you receive a tax incentive up to $15,000. So whether you buy it or lease it, that's an option you have. You can weigh out the different options, whatever works for you. It's a fix. This right here is my last part of it, but it's my favorite part. So 3,000 square foot home, 6-bedroom, power bill year round is $269 for the next 20 years. $269. Do you know how many times NV Energy will have gone up, has gone up? Let me just say it that way, has gone up. I've been in my home going on 9 years. And so 2016, going on 9 years. Am I right? I think I'm right. 26, So 2016 when I got the house, December 2016, I think I'm going on 9 years. So let's say 8 years. But guess what? They've gone up several times, but I've owned my system going on 3 years now. I don't have an NV Energy increase. I'm not threatened by this. They were just talking today about some increase again. Every year they go, it looks like every other quarter they're increasing, right? You don't worry about that. This payment with solar is fixed monthly payment. So contact me at 702-349-0162. Let's talk about, if you own a home, let's talk about doing solar. If you're a landlord, you will increase your value by putting solar on your home. And the tenant, watch this, by putting solar on your home, that's a rental, the tenants pay it off, like they paying the mortgage. It doesn't cost you anything to put it on the house. Let's say the bill monthly for your rental property, putting solar, let's say it runs $120 a month. So you can charge the tenant the $120 a month for power. Add that to the rent. So every month, they're paying your power and your mortgage, and you get the value increase on your home. It's like any improvements you make. They just pay it off for you. Let's say you finance a company, go in and put new kitchen cabinets in, new flooring, and then you rent it to pay that off and the mortgage. So put solar on the home, tenants will pay it off. These are all valuable assets to increase your value on your home. This is what I do. I talk about wealth empowerment, right? So we say in 2025, we're going to move with vision, purpose, creativity, just like that. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to waste time. We're going to figure out new ways. Now, I want to talk now to veterans. Now, if you're a veteran 2025, let me say, we appreciate you for your service. But if you're living beneath your privilege by renting and you're a veteran, so you used your DD 214 before, you don't think you can again, let me here to inform you, enlighten you, and empower your mind. Although you've used your DD 214 in the past, and take this to your family members, take this to your loved ones, because the end of the day, they can use it again. I know Uncle Willie and all them, they think, because, man, I use my DD, I can't. Yeah, many of you can. We have a couple lenders out there that we work closely with who can help reinstate your DD 214. Even if you lost the house, foreclosure, deed in lieu, short sold the home, any of that, we can help by getting you reinstated. So contact us. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's available, because a veteran, we can get many veterans in with a low 560 credit score. That just means you paid some of your bills, right? We get a letter from the landlord saying, look, he was on time, he paid. You know, we could build a credit score. We could build information for the lender to trust you, right? But you need to act in 2025. Stop putting it off, paying another man's mortgage for him to only decide in 2025, this is the year I'm going to sell. And so you out on your, you just out. Now you got to go. And the other part is, let's say the landlord sells. You've been in there 5 years. Your credit took a hit. Now you had some things happen and your score isn't where it was before, right? Life happened, man. We life and life happens. But what happens then? Now this landlord decides to sell. Your credit took a hit. Now you got to move. You've been given a 30-day notice and you can't find nowhere to go. You custom living on wherever you used to live in. But now you find yourself coming down off the hill. Because now property management companies, guess what? I was talking to one on a rental. I typically won't help, but if I sold a house for a lady who was in default in her mortgage. And so I offered to help her with a rental. Because I'm selling a house, you got to go. So I will help. Rentals on a norm, I do have a team that handles that. But because I was helping her. But I talked to a property management company on a property. They want a 640 FICO score. I'm like, I know you didn't make the rules, ma'am, but a 640, I can sell you a house with a 580. She said, but we can't rent you a house with a 580. We can't rent you a house with anything less than a 640. Let me say this to you, beloved. If you got a 640, you better be buying a house. For real. Because I can get you money down with a 620. So, end of the day, man, look, veterans, let's get into homeownership. I say it with all due respect. We appreciate you all for what you're doing, what you've done. If you're still in the active military, take advantage of your DD 214. Take advantage, even though if you've used it before. When you go home, call Uncle Willie and your TT, and you know they're veterans and they've been paying rent. Say, by the way, did you know you could buy a house still, even though you use your D? Or just ask, did you use your certificate for VA to purchase a home before? Help them out. We are our brother's keeper. Help them out. Let them know they can get a home. These landlords are selling houses, especially, I'm going to tell you right now what we can expect in this new administration. There's a lot of landlords going to cash out. Home values are up in Vegas. They got great equity. They're going to cash out. And they're going to buy bigger properties. They're going to buy more investment property. So if you got a house right now and you got equity in your home, I advise you, take that equity out of that home, put that money into an investment property. Let that money make residual income. You've been warned. Take the equity now. Cash out now before the values drop. And a lot of I don't know what the new administration holds, but I would take advantage of it. I recently refinanced my home, made some improvements, upgrade it. Look, take advantage. Even if you took equity out of the home, a home equity line of credit, and do the advances you want to. You want to put wood flooring, you want tile, you want granite. Use the home equity line of credit while the value's there, and do the improvements. And then add solar, which will kick up another value in the property with no upfront costs. So I've got no upfront costs, home financing. I got no upfront costs, solar. All these things are available. So look, I am so excited about 2025. I want to wish all of you happy new year. It's an exciting year. We're going in with vision, purpose, and creativity. We're going to figure out how we can change from what we've been doing to doing something new. We're going to pursue, conquer, and succeed. That's how we going in, man. And I'm keeping that passion with me. But I want to bring my brother or my sister alongside with me. Let me help you come up. Let me show you some avenues that's available. 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group, the name you need to know right here in the Valley. Tell a friend for me if you got a home and everything's good. But tell your sister, your brother, what's available for them. It's a great opportunity. Don't let them miss it. Now, remember, as you get in your tax refunds, you can also use those funds to help get your credit in order and use those funds towards some down payment. You just had Christmas. What else could you possibly need? Use that tax refund, fix your credit, pay off some debt. You can't dispute everything, beloved. Some things you need to pay off. You mad at your cousin because he ain't gave you that $50 back. So can you imagine the debtor you ain't paid his $120 on a credit card? Pay it off. Get it signed that you paid it in full. Send a copy of that bill to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. They will remove it from your credit. I've got a great credit guy. You can talk to Mike. Contact me at 702-349-0162. I'll set you with Mike. Mike will go over it with you, give you a game plan, a strategy. Now, with that no money down program, there is a home buyer education certificate you'll need to get. We used to offer a class. We don't have to offer the class anymore. We've got it online. Shout out to Stefan, who just completed his online, getting his keys on the 10th. He completed it, so you don't have to go to 8-hour classes. There's a certificate online we can get with you to save your time from all of that. You know, for years we've done the classes. And I understand they're still doing the classes, but if you don't want to avoid 8 hours, you can do it online now. And it's like, I think, an hour and a half. So contact me for more information. Be glad to speak with you. Happy 2025. It's going to be great. You got to put the work in. It's gonna pay off, okay? So, look, until next Wednesday at 12 o'clock, right here at Hot 702.5 FM, we will be back. And until then, may God's best be yours.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah. Jones, hey, Greg Deville was at it, man. Hey, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You wanna be a broker? You wanna be broke? You wanna be the joker? You wanna be the joker? You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish, or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help.